How you doing? This is One Take Terry, and I say that for one reason, because you're going to get this down in one take. Here we go. I am here this evening with the lovely Avery Volz. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, I was practicing in the break, and I think I got it. We're going to start off talking to you about the book that you released, because you're a first-time author, right? Did I say that right? First-time author. Is this your first book?
This is my first book, yes.
But there's two books. Okay, so tell me about the first.
So, to the One I Love is about an older woman who sits down to write a letter to her children because they're going through very tough things in their lives that she went through when she was younger. And she thinks, well, if I got through it, so can they. So she writes down basically all the major life events that happened to her, and the letter is dedicated to the love of her life, who she met at just 11 years old.
So where's the inspiration for this book? I mean, at such a young age, how old are you?
I'm 20, but I wrote it when I was 17.
Okay, so yes, at a very young age, where's the inspiration for this come?
When I was in high school, I went through a very sort of rough patch with my mental health, and I just sort of became very philosophical about life and love, and I was like, you know, I need to write something. I've always been a writer since I was 8, so at the time I was struggling with writer's block, so my mom got me this like cube book that was like writer's block ideas, and I found one that said, write a story in the form of a letter, and immediately I was like, yep, that's it, and the whole story just came to my mind.
See, I struggle sometimes with writer's block often. So I'm looking at the book. Now you talk about the fact that there's a sequel to the book. But before we get to the sequel, when writing the first book, like, is there a favorite part of that book that you loved writing? Is favorite scene?
Yes, definitely. Toward the end of the book, there is a scene where my main character, Abigail, she's a violinist. She is playing in the show, and after the show, she looks out in the crowd, and the love of her life, his name is Colton, is sort of coming through the crowd at her, but at this point, they've had their very rocky past, and she's like, well, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. And it's just like a moment where everything just comes together, and that was definitely my favorite moment to write. Okay,
so the support, your family, your friends, has it been a positive thing? How's everybody in your circle about you writing?
I am so lucky. I have the most supportive family and friends in the whole world. My parents especially. I dedicated the book to them. Like, they're so like, just, when is it coming out, Avery? When is it coming out? And I'll be writing on my laptop, and my mom will walk by, and she'll be like, and I'll put the screen down because, like, now you're not reading it yet. You're not reading it yet. So they've been so patient and so supportive, as well as my whole family and my sister as well. Okay. So I'm so lucky.
So, all right, now getting to part 2. Yes. Where is part 1? Where can I find that? Where can everybody out there pick that up?
So, To the One I Love is available on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble.
Okay. When is the release of the second book, and is there a title for the second book?
Yes, so my sequel is called To Now and Forever, and it's available February 14th, 2023.
So where did you go to get in the zone to do book 2?
Well, actually, funny story, originally it was all one book. So my publisher was like, Avery, this is fantastic, but it was like 430 some pages. And she was like, what if we split it in 2? And at first I was like, I don't know about that. I'm kind of skeptical about that. But she gave me a lot of good reasons, and I started to see the benefits of splitting it in 2. So we split it, and then I worked on To Now and Forever from October of 2021 to, gosh, just recently, so it's been a year. It's been a year.
I heard about you being the young writer, and I spoke to your sister, and I told her, I said, I want to talk to her. I want to see how that happens. Like, so other people out there that are your age or the age you were at the time when you started, you know, can see that they can do that. So what would you advise a person who was a young writer who wanted to get out there and start writing? What would you advise them? What's the good path to take?
If you have an idea, I'll say sleep on it for a couple weeks, couple days, couple weeks. Usually, when I get an idea, I'll think about it for a month, maybe. Because if it's a good idea, it's gonna keep coming back. And clearly, if it keeps popping up in your head, you have something to say, and it needs to be written down. So that's the best advice I could give. Other than that, just not really caring about the readers, when you're first sitting down to write, just writing how you would talk to someone, or not even to anyone, just talking to yourself. Don't hold back, don't whatever, just be yourself. And then you can always rewrite later. But if you're yourself, it doesn't even matter.
Now, will there be a chapter 3, not even a chapter 3, will there be a part 3?
Unfortunately, no. So To Now and Forever is the last book in the duology. And I'm happy about that, honestly, because I wrote this when I was in, like I said, sort of a tougher time. And I know that people love it, and I'm very excited for them to have the sequel, but I am also excited to move on and just give it to them as for now.
Now, what would you say the harder parts of writing this book, and part 1 and part 2, what are the harder parts? What are the things that, pitfalls or obstacles that you had to get around to get to in the stores?
Well, I'm a college student, so writing a book on top of 15 credits and being in 3 clubs, I lost a lot of sleep, we'll just say that. But as far as time management goes, I mean, writing is everything to me. So it's, I do everything for other people. Like I'm in clubs, and I work for other people on campus, and I was a dancer for 15 years. Yes, performing for other people. But writing is the one thing that I do for myself fully. So I know that I'm gonna do it, and I specifically set time aside to write. So I know that I can get it done, and I can make it the best that it can be.
But the thought came to my head, what if someone wanted to make your book, this is it, they wanted to turn your book into a movie? How would that be?
I would cry, because that's amazing. That is the biggest dream of mine. Originally my biggest dream was just to see my own work in print and to be able to hold my book, but that dream is checked off and achieved. And now I'm on to bigger, better things, and I'm always trying to improve my writing and get it out there and advertise for it. So when it happens, because it will happen, I'm just going to be speechless.
Is there anybody that you can see playing the characters out there? Like if there was a celebrity that could play your characters, who would it be? Who comes to mind?
To play my main character, Abigail, Florence Pugh.
Okay.
I love her. She's incredible.
Well, I can tell you that I don't read books a lot, but I'm going to read yours.
Thank you.
If I cry a little bit, then that might move me to read the next one. I won't really cry, I'm only kidding. I mean, I might, my eyes get wet when I'm watching something that's, sentimental. So, I don't know what it'd be like if I was reading something sentimental. But I look forward to reading it. I enjoyed speaking to you. I will enjoy speaking to you again on the other book. But until then, is there anything you would like to say to everyone out there that may see this and want to know more about you? Is there anything you would like to say?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Thank you so much for this. This was an incredible opportunity, and I'm so beyond grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.